Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I believe. You wanna know where I come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one give the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. Me deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase. We no join both sides. One West are the best, you know boy. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke when left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street on a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your job flesh like your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it boat wide. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. Lucky where the nanny, y'all do bright. Then we shoot the bumbo clad, you grind. That's where me come from. I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10. Yeah, them do bad, I just mouth them up, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get toe tag. Send your soul to God, their best no God. Do all fucking clip of your own that. No come set, no chop of your own bat. I go get sent off, we run postal. Get a play out box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son. Boy, we have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. How where we come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now your top 10 killing increase. Increase. You know, you know. Yeah, easy. I want what's in I building. You know when we come through, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor. Yeah. I want West. We taking over. Yo, Nayata.
Yo, Gucci.
Strap to the bone, chat to me chrome. Fire one in a them head, chat to the dome. Them boy they no bad, that a way me know. Only bad when the man friend pop pill alone. Tall rifle a roll under me clothes. One West a run road that a fi be known. Brown in bad bitch, not silicone. Rich badness, fat belly phone. Them boy they no ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a grum knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark, he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish calf we black and white. With the red light on the front eye. Toppy show. Tap about things where you nothing know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we be go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Thing them ram up in a skin them. Time you get lead poison in an infection. Make your dopey rise quicker than inflation. And the eye cast a living in bed from the inception. That's when the thing been tan. Start off slow, now the thing get strong. I want West and it never take long. Now we a do the road mad injection. Toppy show. Tap about things where you no feel know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we be go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Them boy they no ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a grum knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish calf we black and white. Make the rain fall and the drum dry.
listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're...
Hey, Shalom, Yabashin Shabrakatam to all the brothers, Yahawa Shemala Tham, Bashin Yoshai to all the sisters. I'm Priest of 500 Barak Yala with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, taught out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Angel YAHANNA, you understand? And just like every Thursday evening, we have the Brotherhood classes where we learn how to love each other, how to love one another, you know, who to love, who to hate, when to love, when to hate, because yes, hate is in the Bible. This is the second part of last week's class, you understand, where we show some things that you never seen in the Bible before, which is one of the reasons why you reject the Bible, because you don't know that it pertains to you. So-called Black, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, you're the people who are chosen in the Bible. And in 2025, right, there's no better time for you to know that this book pertains to you, because everything in this book is true. You understand? Everything in this book pertains to you, from you being brought up as far as, you know, a nation being created, to your demise, to your redemption. Listen, the Bible is, like I say all the time, right? I had a discussion with my brother Kodam. The Bible is the best script ever. The only difference, as opposed to most of the movies, the TV shows, whatever the case is, that the Bible is real. Nothing is made up. You understand? The people in the Bible are real. You know, and it's talking about your history. This is your family tree, your lineage, your constitution. You understand? And it's for you. There's no better time for you to read the Bible like today. And like we seen in last class, you have nothing else. You really don't have any better thing to do but to come to these classes, to learn that this Bible is true, to learn that this Bible has a solution to every issues in your life. You understand? So I'm gonna go Kodash Yala, Yabasha Shabakata, for 2 and then we're about to get into it. Just not Salaki. I just seen the comments like it for the rank in order. Officer Matabar in the building as well. Shalom, Yabasha Shabakata. I'll put the link right in the chat. Feel free to come up, sir. So basically, you understand, there's no better time for you to come into these classes. What else do you have to do? You have nothing else to do but to come to these classes. You know how I know? Because in the society that we're in, what is being promoted to our people? What type of behavior is promoted to our people in the society that we're in today? We're going to show you to prove that you have nothing better to do than to come to these classes and learn the truth about the Bible. Learn how to change yourself. Learn how to become a better person. You don't become a better person in the church. You know how I know? Because more and more churches are accepting sinful behavior. More and more churches are okay with, you know, sexual deviance. So how can you become a better person in the church, right? When the church promotes sin. The church promotes sin. How can you become a better person? Make that make sense. The answer is simple. You can't. The church is the house of Satan, the house of lies, and the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Command Angel YAHANNA is the home of the truth. We have Officer Matabar in the building. I don't know how I can never figure out how to put you on screen even though you're not on camera. But Officer 5000 Matabar is with us. Shalom, Siyabashin Shabrakata.
Yabashin Shabrakata. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Everything the same as usual, Adawan. Trying to wake up our people, letting them know that they have nothing better to do but to be in these classes.
Damn right. That's the most
and
important thing.
Kawakan, that's the point I was getting at. Is like, what type of behavior is pushed on our people that would make them think, or make that they have something better to do than to be in these classes. I walk out my house right now. I go to the corner store, let's say to buy a drink, some juice, a bottle of water. You have 10 niggas on the block smoking weed, cigarettes, who cares? You understand? You have sisters dressed half naked getting catcalled by the same niggas who are getting high as hell. All summer, it's a block party every day. And every single ghetto, barrio, favela, garrison, whatever you want to call it. And guess what else happens besides partying, being high as hell, and being dressed as a whore, being treated as a whore? You know what happens? Killings, rape.
I'm right. You get on the live.
So are you trying to tell me that this is the better thing that you have to do as opposed to come into class and learn how to not be a murderer? You understand? Learn how to stop black and brown beef. Learn the true solution when it comes to a truce between the gangs. Listen, the I.S.U.P.K has a solution when it comes to the GD BD beef. We will make the, what's it called? What's the Dominican gang again? The Dominican gang with the green flags. I forgot what they call. The Latin kings, the Sureño, the Norteño. Listen, forget about the gangs within the tribes. We'll make the Dominicans and the Haitians love each other once again. That's what it's about. And just like last night, we're going to show you the most simple things in the Bible. We have to give you milk before you eat some solid food. So a piece of steak, a piece of meat, salaki. That's what the Bible says. That's so the most simple thing that the Bible pertains to you. That the image that you have, the white supremacist image you have of the Bible is nowhere near any of the chapter in the book. You understand? The reason why you're so, how can I say it? You're so indoctrinated. Really, even the word indoctrinated, like, listen, this is the problem we have with not understanding anything in the Bible. Besides not understanding context, you can't even look a basic definition of any word. Everybody is indoctrinated, whatever you believe in. But there's proper indoctrination and there's wrong indoctrination. Indoctrination just means teaching. You'll be taught wrong all the time. You understand? It's like, well, I've been too long with it. If you want to chime in, of course, I want. Let me know. I need
what you're saying is right, because our people, they go by what the oppressor say. The oppressor gave them they so-called freedom. The oppressor gave them the freedom to do whatever they want. That's why it's so hard for them to come into the truth. They not following after the Most High. They want to follow after their oppressor, because your oppressor says it's right to do this. You could do whatever you want. You could be whatever you want. You ain't following the Most High. You ain't following Christ. Though all these Christians we hear, oh, we love God, we love Christ. No, you don't. You love your oppressor because you're doing what the oppressor say. You ain't doing what the scriptures say do. That's why it's hard for you to come into the truth. That's why it's hard for you to get in class. You're too busy having fun in the oppressor kingdom. You're living the way of the oppressor. You got it.
Damn right, sir. And that is hardcore how you brought up. We would rather listen to the oppressor than the Most High, because we get all our teachings from this oppressor. Listen, the reason why you reject the Bible is because the white man told you it belongs to him. You want to know what else? The white man told you that America belongs to him as well. The white man says Canada belongs to him. Good night. The white man says Africa belongs to him. Look at Elon Musk. He's literally an African American. And you don't see a problem in believing what the white man says? Well, let me show you a few things before we go back to some of the basics of the Bible, where we're going to debunk some lies. Well, you need to come to class because the church will not show you this. Let me share my screen real quick. I'm going to go to Romans chapter 1, verse 25, because that's why it's so heavy what Officer Matabar just brought out, because Romans chapter 1, verse 25 exactly expounds on what Officer Matabar just brought out. Romans 1 and 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Ask yourself, who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who made it a mandate to what did they call it? Sexual freedom. Imagine sexual freedom. Who told you could be free sexually? What does that even mean? Yeah, you don't even ask yourself questions. Who in Canada, I don't know about the US, but Canada legalized marijuana in 2017 nationwide, right? But on the west coast of Canada, in the province of British Columbia, the city of Vancouver decriminalized every single drug. Some devil, ironically, who passed away from an overdose, right? Had a shop just like any weed shop, but he was selling crack, cocaine, fentanyl, meth, but by small amounts that you would not get arrested for having on you. Who made that legal? Who legalized prostitution? You understand? Everything that goes against the Most High, they made it the norm today, but who made it the norm? Because even some of the heathens who have deviant lifestyle don't want to make it the norm. Like the Africans, a lot of like we know Sodom and Gomorrah, those were Africans, so-called Africans today. They're Hamites. But some Hamite countries are looking at homosexuality like it's wrong, even though it's their culture. You understand? So who made it worldwide acceptable, which is a deviant lifestyle? Who made people think that pork is the new white meat, Salakia? That shrimp, crab, and lobster is a delicacy. Who did that? Who is pushing for? The Most High is the ultimate boss of racism, but who is pushing for an ideology, a fake ideology at that, of integration, that we're all a melting pot, we're all humans, we all bleed red? Who told you that? The same people who told you you were free when you were not. And if you knew that the Bible pertains to you, the Bible is real, you wouldn't have to ask yourself these questions. You would have to ask this question the same way I'm asking you, to just paint a picture. Show you that the oppressor, who is the devil, meaning deceiver, he is the one who turned the truth of the Most High into a lie. You understand? Let's read that again. Romans chapter 1 verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who did? I'm gonna show you a truth that's in the Bible that is the most famous lie on the face of the earth. And I'm not talking about John 3:16. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Let's keep reading. And worshipped and served the creature more than the creator. Who taught you that? Listen, this is damn near a dead giveaway about the truth I'm going to show you, which they portray as a lie. This is damn near a dead giveaway. How are you worshiping and serving the creature more than the creator? Can anyone answer that? Ask yourself, who are blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians? Who are they worshiping today? If you understand our people, right, in a carnal perspective, you would understand that spiritual perspective of who they are worshiping today.
Yeah, right.
You understand? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to just to put it in the chat.
And
That's
what's even like,
go ahead. Of course,
what's even heavier is they should look at who turned the truth into a lie.
Damn right.
That should pop in their brain first when you see that oppressor Christ, the oppressor angel babies, baby angels as the oppressor, all the disciples as the oppressor. Like that should pop in their brain first. Well, damn.
Yeah, that, you just gave them the
answer. Go ahead, you got it.
That's like as I said, you just give them the answer. You know, who changed the truth of Most High into a lie? And guess who our people are worshiping? That despicable, lascivious, deviant bastard of a beast, whose real name is Caesar Borgia, who you perceive to be Jesus Christ. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Listen, out of all people who had us captives, How many of them changed the image of Christ into what they look like? Let me get Salag. I'm gonna have to get it real quick. What is it? Is it Job? I think it's Job 9. Then we're gonna get into some milk scriptures, right? I think it's Job 9 and what, 22 or 24, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Job chapter 9, verse 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Why isn't your pastor showing you that? You know why? Because your pastor is a paid agent. He's a trained dog. That's biblical too. You know, talk about our shepherds are worthless dog. I'm just paraphrasing, right? They don't bark. They're quiet. You see, I have a dog. My dog is not worthless. Knock on my door and nobody knows who you are. My dog, listen, Lord be with you, even if you make it past the door. And she'll let you know, Shamar is on Shamar. I got 100-pound Rottweiler. You understand? But our pastors are dumb dogs. That's exactly what the scripture says. They're worthless. They don't bark. They're useless. Because they would have showed you that it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. Because who is in power of the globe today? But if you still have to ask yourself that question, no sweat. Let's keep reading. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the judges? Don't the Christian church say Christ will judge the world? Isn't what they teach in church? Who made Christ look like a white man? Did the Arabs make Christ look like you know, what's his name again? Gaddafi? Do we have a picture of Christ looking like Gaddafi? Did the Chinese man ever make Christ look like Kim Jong-un? Do you see Christ looking like, what's the nigga name again? Not the nigga, but Salakia. What's this man name? The Africans war chief, or what do they call these cats again? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Did Christ ever look like an African with a bone in his nose? Ask yourself these questions. Who is the only people on the face of the earth that covered the faces of the judges? Look at the saints. Look at all the when you think of Bible, when you think of apostles, when you think of disciples, what is the first image you have in mind? Just go on Google. Now, if you're not sure, just Google it. And it will tell you who is that wicked that has dominion over the globe right now. And if not him, where and who is he? It's as simple as that. That same wicked is the same one who changed the truth of God into a lie, we've seen in Romans chapter 1, verse 25. You understand? This is the same person, the same race of people, the same institution. It's not the Illuminati. It's not the CIA. It's not the reptile people. It's not the, what does it say to the other one? The Anunnaki. It's the white man. It's the Caucasian race. The devil the Bible speaks of. That institution is the Roman Catholic Church. That's it. It's that simple. And I'm going to show it to you. We're going to go to some milk scriptures. I'm going to show you, right? One of the biggest lies that they push, which is one of the reasons you have to reject, not you have, but this is one of the reasons our people reject the Bible today, which is why you have to come to class, because we're demystifying those lies. We're showing you the truth about the lies that are being pushed on our people, which does two things. One, our people is, good night. If it ain't white, it ain't right in the mind of our people. Two, if it's white, it ain't right. And because you think the Bible is white, you think it ain't right. Those are the two outcomes of the lies that are being pushed on our people. But let me show you, let me show you the truth about one of the lies that are being pushed on our people. Let me go to Revelation chapter 1. Let's start at verse 1, right? It's the book of Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. It says, the revelation of Yahawashi Mashiach. See, that's what it don't tell you. First of all, this is the real name of Christ, Yahawashi Mashiach. Christ was the king of the Jews. You understand? And they like to say, well, it can't be his real name. There was no J back in the days. If you go into the old in a physical 1611 King James, it's not going to be written with a J. It's going to be written with an I. Like y'all have the dumbest argument to reject the Bible. It's written with a J. It's the white man's alphabet. You will argue that it's the white man's alphabet using the white man's language. Imagine that. Imagine how stupid you sound. This was just a quick sidebar to show you that none of your arguments to reject the Bible are sound. Right? But now let's read it, right? I'm gonna read it how it is just so y'all can understand what it says, right? Revelation chapter 1, verse 1, the revelation of Jesus Christ. Revelation means to reveal. To reveal is to show you. I'm gonna show you something, to reveal something, right? Which God gave unto him, who? To John the Revelator. To show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent to signify it by his angel unto his servant John. Not John the Baptist. Right? There's another thing people have a misconception in the Bible, that every single name is, how you call it, other one? Nobody can have the same name. Which is dumb as hell, because I know 10 Peters today. I know 5 Marks. You understand? Let's jump down to verse 13. Let me show you the lie that is being, let's show the truth about the lie that's being pushed. The most famous lie. Which is why you love white people and you reject the Bible. Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. What are these candlesticks? These candlesticks are 7 churches that were set up in what is today known as the Middle East. You understand? Asia Minor. Right? These 7 churches that were set up by Paul. One like unto the Son of Man is talking about Christ. Because Christ is literally the son of a man. He's not the son of a ghost. Mary is not an adulteress. The Most High God is not an adulterer. The only reason you think that is because of the white lies of the church, which mix in pagan dogma that is not in the Bible. Zeus is not in the Bible. Mary never had sex with Zeus. Mary was not a whore. Just like you were born of your mother and father after them having sex, Christ was the same, born of his physical father, which is Joseph, which is the reason why Christ is of the lineage of David. Physically, he is of the seed of David. How can he be the seed of a ghost? You understand? Imagine that. It's crazy. Now, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Now, if you see any of these fly pictures from the Passovers, those Israelite attire that you see the brothers wear, these are the garments. Right? Shout out to I.S.U.P.K collection. Right? Shout out to all the brothers, Captain Kapash, Officer Malak's Rib does amazing garments, Officer Ra Ban as well. You understand? Brothers, and there's a plethora of brothers and sisters who make garments in Israelite attire industry. You understand? This is one of the lies that was pushed by the church. Christ was not dressed with a tablecloth.
A towel. Yeah,
a towel. Christ, you know what? Let's pull a quick picture, right? And let's compare the popularized image of Christ compared to what the Bible actually describes him as, right? In one moment. Let me pull up a picture and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. First of all, it says that Christ was clothed, meaning he has some, this is his attire. He had a garment, right? This is a Roman toga. This is how the Roman dressed. This is the most popular image that you think Christ looks like. A sodomite-ish beach boy that looks like a hippie. This looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo if he was wearing a towel. You understand? But now let's see how Christ is actually depicted as in the Bible. Not in your mind, but in the Bible. The same way, if you get arrested, the police gives a description of, you know, of how you look, like they known to do. Black man with hoodie on, braids, 6 foot, dark complexion, light complexion, gold in his mouth. If you understand basic description, especially with your racist mind, you should be able to understand the description of Christ in the Bible and Revelation. Let's see how Christ is depicted in the Bible. Let's go back. This is the image that you have in your mind. Now let's see the image that is described in the Bible. Revelation chapter 1 verse 13. One more time. In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot and girt about the path with a golden girdle. That's not a garment down to the foot. That's a towel. He's wearing a Roman tablecloth. So that's strike 1 right there. Salakia. Go to verse 14. His head and his hairs. So we went from describing his attire. Now we're going to describing physical appearance, right? So it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now people like to say, well, he must be a white man because his head was white. This is old English term for the hair on your head, or your hairs. And the hairs is for your facial hair. That's what it's described as.
Right.
You understand?
And Lucky, on top of that, it's not describing his face. It said his head and his hairs. It's describing what's on his head. So I don't know why they confuse it with his face being pale.
Damn right. But see, the problem is, y'all don't even know what language the Bible was written in the first place. This written in Old English. That's number one. If you don't understand Old English, I mean, good night. You could today in 2025, you have no excuse for not understanding what's in the Bible. You understand? Just Google the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge in your area and come to class. That's really all you have to do. And even then, the first step is you're not sure, you could just Google what language was the Bible written. Old English, you don't speak Old English. You know nothing about Old English. So come to class and we'll teach you the context, the definition of basic words. And old terminologies like the head, meaning the hair on his head and his facial hair were white like wool. White is a color, wool is a texture. Now, 2 things. This man looks like a beach boy. This man looks like a hippie, like he gets high and goes to Burning Man. That's what this man looks like, right? And for the simple people out here saying wool is white, so it can't be describing a black man or him having woolly hair. You understand? This is the problem. I never knew people could be that simple until I heard someone tell me, well, it cannot be describing woolly hair because wool is white by default. I agree that the most common image of a sheep is white, but it's like you never seen a sheep outside of National Geographic if you even had cable. I've been on multiple farms. This is a brown sheep. Sheep don't have access to dye to dye their wool in nature. That's how they're born. Wool can be brown, wool can be white, wool can be black. So what is the argument here? I don't understand. Can someone enlighten me? Because I'm confused. Clearly, this is brown wool. You want to look up a black sheep? Look at these sheep right here. Different type of color of wool. You think the people have time? Listen, sheep are not little sodomites like you who like to dye your hair pink and green and yellow. You understand? The sheep is born with brown wool, white wool, or black wool. There's a color on the wool by default. It is not white by default. This is stupid as hell. Now, back to the description of Christ. He's supposed to have a garment, not a Roman towel, down to the foot, and white woolly hair. Even let's say there's no woolly hair on Christ, right? Like the image is portraying right now. Where's the white hair? Where's the white hair alone? It's not there. Clearly, something is wrong with the depiction of Christ you have in your mind. Christ is described with white woolly hair. Let's keep reading. As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Why? Because Christ drank wine. Christ, they were having a party. Mary said, we don't have enough liquor. He said, no sweat, I got it. He turned water into wine. That's some nigga shit. It's a lot. It's that Christ was a black man. This is what the church doesn't teaches you. And because you think that the Savior is white, you think the Bible is white. So therefore, two things happen when you think that. Either you're going to love the white man who you perceive as your Savior, or you're going to reject the Bible because you know the white man cannot be your Savior. The truth is, Christ is a dark-skinned black man with white woolly hair. You understand? Christ has had white woolly hair in the Bible. That's what it says right here. Now ask yourself, who's the people who has hair like wool? Again, if you're not sure what wool texture looks like, this is wool. Who has hair like that? I mean, shout out to the sister who did my hair, so I can't show you my woolly hair. Right now I have the biblical locks, which are not dreads or braids, with an amazing design. But this is what wool looks like. This is what my hair will look like when I take out my braids. Who is the people who has natural woolly hair without applying no products like the Japanese, without doing nothing, without any exception? Who is the people who has natural woolly hair? It's black people. It's Hispanics. It's natives. Have you seen Tabawan in Cali? Tabawan has hair like wool. And he is a so-called native. You understand? Now, we're not going to get caught up into describing blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the phenotypes, whatever the case is. We're going to keep that for another class. We're going to keep it simple today. To show some of the simple things in the Bible that you should know, which you won't learn in church. Now go ask yourself in the church, ask your pastor, Salaki, I mean, where's Christ? Where is the image of Christ a white man when he's described as having white woolly hair? You understand? Ask your pastor that. Why is Christ described as a black man in the Bible, but the image we have is a white man? Ask him that.
Damn right.
Let's see if he's honest or not. Let's read verse 15, because we just described his hair, the hair on his head, on his face, but this is the kicker. Revelation chapter 1 verse 15, and his feet. So now we're talking about his skin. And his feet like unto fine brass. Oh, good night. This is what brass looks like? Is this what brass looks like? Let's get a picture of brass. Brass is a derivative of copper, just for those who don't know. Brass is a metal alloy, primarily a combination of copper. Right? Let me see. You see the picture on the left? This is brass. This is brown. Unless I'm colorblind, a lot of y'all are colorblind these days. That's why you love white people. You're colorblind. White people are colorblind. They treat they treat everyone who's not white the same, apparently, which means with hatred. But his feet are like unto fine brass. Let's read it again, Revelation 1:15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. So not only this man is brown skinned, but is brown skinned as if he burned in a furnace. Good night. So what is the color of burnt brass? What is the color of anything you burn in a furnace? Not just burnt brass. Leave something to burn in a fire, right? What is it going to turn out? What's going to be the color of it? As a matter of fact, this is amazing. This is the color of burnt brass. You see, he went from light to dark. Listen, Christ is a dark-skinned black man with white woolly hair. He's not a homosexual-looking Roman. This image that you see right here is the portrait of Caesar Borgia, the illegitimate son, however you pronounce this stupid English word, illegitimate son of Pope Alexander, if I'm not mistaken, is the 6th, Pope Alexander the 6th, right, of the Borgia crime family. This is who this is. This is not Christ. This man was portrayed as Christ during the Renaissance. Renaissance, a French word meaning rebirth. After the loss of power and the fall of the Roman Empire, white people were in hell. Literally, they were in hell. Hell is not a fictitious place that the church teaches you is underground. No, it's a living condition. They were in hell. Now, coming out of this temporary hell, right, which is during the period called the Dark Ages, they had a rebirth of their society, which is why they call it the Renaissance, or Renaissance, which just means rebirth in French. That's really it. And they pushed their ideology and influence throughout the face of the earth once more, just like they were doing it during the Roman Empire, just like they did with the Greek Empire. They did it once more till this day. And they whitewashed everything. The same way you have no issues in them whitewashing the image of Michael Jackson. They try to make a Michael Jackson movie and whitewash Michael Jackson. I'm not talking about physically, because we know he looked like a white man after, he claiming to have vitiligo. That's not the point. They should have a white actor play Michael Jackson. They're whitewashing hip hop. Eminem is the, what do they call it himself? The rap god or something like that. Bob Marley, who is a melanated Edomite or a melanated Caucasian, is the king of reggae. Sean Paul is one of the best reggae artists, apparently. All these men that I just mentioned are white, who are leading in our culture. Who's another name? Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass' father was a white man. Imagine that. They made a movie called The Chevalier de Saint George, which is the Cavalier of Saint George. Trying to say, well, he was a black man. He was a black Mozart. He was with he learned fencing, and I think he was dating some white woman, some royalty. Come to find out, he's not a brother. His father was a plantation owner in Guadeloupe. They're whitewashing everything since the Renaissance. And if you have no issues in understanding that hip hop is being whitewashed, how can you not understand that the Bible has been whitewashed? Get yourself a book. It's called The Russian Icons. It's 2025. Russia admitted that they whitewashed the Bible. Imagine that. Not to tell you the truth, because he never said that the people in the Bible, even though they're not white, they're not Black, Latino, and Native Americans, he didn't make a difference between the Africans and you, because you're not the same. You understand? It's not difficult to demystify those lies, but if you have problems doing it, again, the topic of the class is come to class. That's all. What are you doing right now? Smoking weed on your couch? There's 24 hours a day. Tune into class for an hour and a half. Tune into class for 2 hours. Tune into class for 5 minutes. You're going to get hooked. You're going to have to put the blunt down because you're going to have to focus. Tune into class and you will learn how to not be a whore. You will learn the Bible pertains to you. You will learn how sex is marriage. Yes. You never heard that before. Once you sleep with a person, that person is, you're supposed to stick with them for life. And I don't even know how this sounds like a foreign concept. Y'all complain about all these women are hoes. Well, there wouldn't be no whore if you would keep them. It's that simple. There wouldn't be no whore if you would keep them. You understand?
Right.
And it's not a foreign concept. Y'all talking about all these men and shit. Listen, you wouldn't have to complain about multiple men if you would have stuck with that one man that had sex with you. It's not foreign. That's really how it is. We're only taught all types of sexual deviancy and lasciviousness because we fall after our oppressor. Which is the reason why, because you think Christ is white, you either love white people or you associate white people with the Bible and a white savior that can't save you, so you reject the Bible. Well, we just show you Christ is not white. Christ is a nigga. Christ is the nigga king. The Jews are black. Let me show you something real quick, because it seemed like, well, Christ is black, but that doesn't mean the Jews are black. I'm gonna show you this, right?
And like you said, you know, come to class, get in all black. Don't come to class and go start no fake Israelite group because you done learned a couple scriptures.
Right. Don't do that.
Body. Come into the I.S.U.P.K. Get in all black, come to class, sit down and learn. Don't sit down, watch classes and go start no fake Israelite group.
Because the outcome is getting select. The outcome is good. No, I don't even. Yeah, let's not go there. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not live the life of a beggar." Salakia.
God, I know what I'm about to say. Don't come to class and start your own group, and then we find out you're getting paid.
Good night. Hey, Shalom, sis.
You got a woman portraying to be a man. You know what I'm saying? In your goddamn group. Now you taking her outside. Let's go out here. Put out your ride. Let me see if you're a man. That's what fake Israelite groups do. You know.
Good night. And this is the problem of the church. This is the same reason why. This is what we heard. Apparently, some of y'all has wild fantasies of your woman being a white man, and hitting you with some work. Why? Because of the church. That's why. You understand? Good night. He really wanted Caesar Borgia. He wanted that Borgia. Good night. That's a lot. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be stupid. But let me show you the Jews are black. You understand? We just show you the king of the Jews is black. Let me show you that his people must be black. This is Salakia. I'm gonna show you this real quick, and then I'm gonna show you in the scriptures. You know, I'm gonna even show you that God is black. The nigga God. We have the nigga God, the nigga king. You understand? But this is Gamal Abdel Nasser. Y'all look him up. He's the former president of Egypt. I'm gonna read the quote word for word. Right? Because people like to say, well, we paraphrase too much. You just adding words. No, I'm going to read it word for word. That's a quote from him. He said, when he was asked about peace in the Middle East, The late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated, "The Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white." It was a metaphor to say that these people over there oppressing the Palestinians, who are marching to sexually assault the Palestinians, y'all look it up. I'm not making this up. The Israelis are marching to violate Palestinians. He said these people are not the real Jews because the real Jews are black. That's what he said. I didn't make it up. He said it himself. You understand? Look him up. His name is Gamal Abdel Nasser. I'm going to put his name in the chat. Y'all just look him up. He's a former president of Egypt. You understand? Now, let me show you in the scriptures. It says the Jews are black. It literally says the Jews are black. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10. No, Salaki, I mean Jeremiah 14. Jeremiah chapter 14. Let's go to verse 2. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2 says, Judah mourneth. Which shows you what? Again, when we say come to class, you know, ask questions, interact, make comments, because here's the thing, we're teaching you something that you don't know. You're here to learn. Right now, I'm about to teach you something you don't know. The fact that Jew is short for Judah, meaning these people who profess themselves to be Jew or Jewish, how could it be of any tribe but the tribe of Judah? If Jew is short for Judah. They say, well, I'm from Levi. That's not how you pronounce it. What I mean, what the hell is a Levi? First of all, if you read it the way it says Levi, and then again, that's just the English transliteration. How are you supposed to read that in the Hebrew? Because there's no V in the Hebrew. There's no E in the Hebrew. You understand? It's La Yah. Yes, we speak Hebrew. Tune into the Lashwan Kodash classes, meaning the Holy Tongue. The Hebrew class is every Friday, 7 p.m. Montreal, Toronto, Eastern Standard Time. We'll go back to the Lashwan Kodash classes tomorrow, as a matter of fact, in French. 1 week out of 2, we'll do it in English. You understand? Tune into the Lashwan Kodash classes. Come learn about your culture. Come learn about the language you spoke before being forced to speak French, before being forced to speak English, Spanish, Portuguese, Creole. Come learn your language. Learn your true culture. Redeem it. Talking about they're from the tribe of Levi. Make it make sense. Jew is short for Judah, which is 1 out of 12 tribes. But let's keep reading, right? Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2 says, Judah mourneth. Now, how are these people in mourning? They have their, listen, the white man is such a horrible monster, a devil. He's saying we don't deserve reparations. They don't know who to pay reparations to, whatever the case is. The state of Israel is living off of reparations for 6 million people out of 80 million casualties. Imagine that. Out of 80 million casualties, they didn't ask themselves, who should we give reparation to? We don't know who to give it to. Y'all been donating reparations to the descendants of 6 million people. Out of 80 million. Why are the 6 million special? Why? They were not the only one who were unalive during World War II. And a lot of them were not even unalive because they were so-called Jewish. They were unalive because they were sodomites. They were pushing a gay agenda on the Nazis. Literally, y'all look it up. A lot of these so-called Jewish people were not put in concentration camps for their faith, which is made up, which is a stolen faith, a bastardized faith, Salakia. They were put in concentration camp because the same way today they're pushing a homosexual agenda to the kids, They were doing the same thing in Nazi Germany. The Nazis were not having it. Y'all look, I'm not making this up. Good night. The telltale sign is the deviancy they have today. They literally are protesting. Y'all don't believe this. So like people think I might make this up. I have to pull this. Jewish man in Israel is protesting successfully. I have to add successfully because that's what it says. They're protesting successfully to sexually assault Palestinians. Homosexuality, all sexual deviancy is against the Most High. It's against the God of the children of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So how are they successfully protesting for the right to rape? So like for the right to sexually assault Palestinians. Palestinians, good night, male or female, it don't matter. They're successfully protesting. Imagine that. That's far from being in mourning. They have one of the biggest LGBTQ parade on the planet. How are they mourning? They get billions from the US, they get billions from the UK, from France, from Canada every year. I'll be crying too, but I'll be crying tears of joy if I'm getting billions of dollars every year. Apparently, you don't even have to work if you live over there. You don't have to work. You know why? Because the whole economy is from reparations. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that, you know, government agencies are funding the state of Israel. I'm just talking about the fact that they're still living off of reparations. Apparently, 6 million people were special out of 80 million who died during World War II. Imagine that. You only have to ask yourself, who should we pay reparations to? These people are not mourning. They're partying right now. They own the Diamond District. They own Hollywood. They own the music industry. Outside of the reparation money they get, they cashing out on you. How are they mourning? Make it make sense. Mourning, crocodile tears, yeah? Salakia. Let me show that quick clip real quick, right? I mean, 1 second, bear with me, Baruch. But those things I'm not making this up. This is from Al Jazeera, right? It says, Israeli protesters rally for the right to grape prisoners. This is in the state of Israel. This is the occupied side of the West Bank. Look at them with the kippah. Even the fact they have a kippah, which is a Polish word, shows that they're not the real Jews. That the Jews can't be white. Look at this. It says the Israeli crowd is effectively protesting for the right to grape. Good night. They're yelling, this is Sodom. That's what they're yelling in Yiddish. Imagine that. And these are the chosen people of God. These are the real Jews. I won't keep playing the clip. You can't make this up. They don't seem like they're mourning. They're happy. Good. Isn't it what the word gay means? Happy? Good night, Salakia. They're clearly happy. You understand? They have no issues. They're not mourning. They're not in poverty. Which we're going to show the state of the real Jews. Let's go back to Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah chapter 14 verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. Meaning what? What is a gate made for? What is the purpose of a gate? A gate is to protect you. That's what a gate is for. A gate has the same purpose of a barrier. That's what it's for. I mean, good night. What is it? In 1946, gates were put up. Good night. They're expanding their gate. Imagine that. They're expanding their gates under pretense of being a people that they're not. We really can't make this up. These people are very well protected. The US made it illegal for anyone to use the flag of the state of Israel as barbecue fuel. They're protected on all sides. You cannot even say anything without being called anti-Semitic, which makes no sense. If the Arab man, let's say an Arab man punches a Jewish man in the face, they're going to say it's a hate crime. The Arab man is anti-Semitic. But the Arabs are Semitic people. How can a Semitic person be anti-Semitic? Wouldn't that just be self-hatred? You understand? They have overprotection. They have overdraft. Salakia. I see you muted yourself, by the way. You want to chime in?
Right. And at the same time, they can call us nigga all day. Ain't no hate crime.
Imagine that. We should be saying you're anti-Semitic for calling us niggas and hanging us from trees.
All goddamn day, every day. Like
if that's the case,
what they had a few years ago, they had the Asian hate crime.
Good night. Imagine that. I mean, that can't be anti-Semitic. Aren't the Asians Semitic people as well?
But when it comes to our people, you know what I'm saying? Forget y'all. Y'all. We was niggas back then. We niggas now. They can say it how many other times they want. And
wherever
what it was, a couple months ago, didn't YT woman, so-called white woman, she got paid because she called a little black boy a nigga.
Imagine that. You get paid for being a racist. Imagine that. Listen, if you're a racist, do you know white people how y'all have problems paying your bills? You know what you do if you have problems paying your bills as a white person? You go in front of a so-called black, so-called Mexican, you say nigga, you say speak, use the hard R. Make sure to get you on tape. Cry some crocodile tears talking about freedom of speech, or you were, lie about the situation, and then make a GoFundMe page. You'll get yourself a 4 or 5 bedroom house. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. Because you know how I know? It's just like Officer Matabar said, this white woman called a black kid, called him a nigga. She opened the GoFundMe page. For whatever reason, I think she got what, 20K? Good night. I forgot. It's irrelevant. She got money. They sympathize with her because why would they not have the right to say nigga? Why? They always did. They're asking themselves, why do they even have to stop? It's not like they're actually stopping. Especially with a proud, deviant racist in office. They're claiming, listen, the same way they're claiming their culture back of being an absolute monster, not claiming it back, but being open about it, you reclaim your culture back as being open about being the chosen people of God, being the real Jews. We're showing you right now the Jews are black. That's what it says. We're showing you right now you're the people of God. The Bible is yours. Openly reclaim it. Be proud to be a Jew. You know why you're not proud to be a Jew? You know why you're not proud to be an Israelite? Because they forbade you to be an Israelite. I'm about to show you that right now. You were not allowed to follow the laws. Under Greek captivity, you were put to death for calling yourself a Jew. Until, what's the brother name again? Judas Maccabees said, enough with white people. Judas Maccabees had white fatigue. That's in the Apocrypha. White fatigue is in the Bible. I'm not making anything up. The Bible said prove everything. I could show you right now. Judas Maccabees had white fatigue. Let me finish this and I'm going to show you white fatigue in the Bible. I'm going to show you black fatigue in the Bible. I'm going to show you racism. Outside of the fact that the Jews are black, the chosen people are black, God is a nigga, I'm going to show you racism in the Bible. And then I'm going to show you black fatigue and white fatigue before we end the class, right? Let me do this real quick. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish, meaning their gates are filled. They have no protection. They have no iron dome. You understand? They have no military. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem gone up. And see, the problem is a lot of people are saying, well, this is not talking about necessarily being black physically. Well, first of all, the real Jews are black. The president said it. But if you don't believe it, because, you know, you're saying, oh, it's already been debunked. These people are wearing black all the time. It's talking about the state of the people, how they're destroyed. Well, are these people destroyed? Are these people famished? I'm going to show you exactly who it's talking about. Let's go to Lamentations 5 and 10 for you to understand who is talking about. It says the Jews are black, and you want to see, and you happen to be colorblind when it comes to skin complexion, right? This is Lamentations 5 and 10. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Shalom. Do I have to break this down for you? Our skin is black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Listen, your physical appearance will change based on your living conditions. Don't you know that? That's what it said. Gucci was cloned. They say Gucci is not the same Gucci from back in the days. They're saying Kodak Black was cloned. They're saying Lil Wayne was cloned. You look at Lil Wayne pictures from when he was younger, even though he was in poverty, from now, I mean, the drugs destroyed the brother. You understand? The Khazars still look like Khazars. The Khazarian people still look like big nose sexual deviants. They never changed. You know, they still look like Esau. Esau ain't never changed. He still look murderously hungry and bloodthirsty. And apparently protesting to have the right to be beyond deviant successfully. Imagine that. This is who is talking about Jeremiah 14:2. The Jews are black unto the ground. Not only do we have different shades of brown, but Lamentations 5 and 10 tells you this. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Go to Haiti right now and tell me how the people look like. Tell me the state of the Haitians right now. Sidebar, the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commander General YAHANNA, will be in Dominican Republic and at the border of Haiti from September 26th to October 5th. We have this mission over there to help our people, to teach our people, to wake them up, to fix the internal beef between the tribe of Levi and Simeon, Loya and Shemaiwan. The Levites, who are the Haitians, and Simeonites, who are the Dominicans. From September 26th to October 4th, the mission led by Captain 10,000 Kapash. You understand? If you want to donate to the mission, the Cash App is $ISUPK worldwide. Again, $ISUPK worldwide, or contact us directly, right, for the PayPal if you don't have Cash App. We will be at the Haitian border. We will be where you are not. We're not house niggas. We'll field niggas over here. We're on the field. We will see our people black and famished because of a terrible famine. We will see the Jews black onto the ground on the island of Hispaniola. You understand? Not over there protesting to sexually assault some people who, you know, live in a desert. Listen, Captain Hadar said, right now over there, they've been bombed so bad, it looks like a parking lot. Commander General YAHANNA said it himself. Our oppressor is a sore winner. Like, he bombed the Palestinians to the Stone Age, and he still want to make sure they're destroyed beyond belief. That's the Jewish man, who is not the real Jew. That's why he called himself Jewish. We just showed you the Jews are black. This Bible pertains to you. I'm going to show you now God is a nigga. I'm going to show you right now that God of the Bible is black as well. He's not the sodomite depiction that touches the finger with the white Adam. That's nowhere. That's a painting from the Renaissance. See, even anything that has to do with the Most High or that has to do with something divine has to have a sexual deviant connotation, because our oppressor, the white man, is naturally a sexual deviant, bloodthirsty bastard. Salakia. Let me pull Daniel real quick. Where is it again? Yeah, is it Daniel 7, if I'm not mistaken? Daniel 7 and 9, right? It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. And it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Who is the Ancient of Days, you might ask? It's talking about God. You understand? The Ancient of Days is talking about God. You want to Google it? Is that what it is? You could Google it if you feel like. Give me 1 second. Do I have this with me? This is from, I'm going to show you, right? We do the homework, you don't, in the I.S.U.P.K. This is from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, which shows you definition of places, words, terminologies in the Bible. Page 38. Ancient of Days. The first thing it says God, as he appeared in a vision to the prophet. Which prophet? In Daniel. The Ancient of Days is God. So now that you understand that the Ancient of Days is God, y'all could just get the book. It's on Amazon. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ancient of Days is God. Let's go back to Daniel 7 and 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. Let's see. We did a three strikes depiction of Christ. Now let's see something, right? What is it again? This is who you think God is in the church. This is who you think Adam is in the church. You see how our oppressor is a homosexual. Salakia, he's a deviant. It says the Ancient of Days has a garment. First of all, you understand? And the hair of his head like pure wool. We seen earlier what wool looked like. If I didn't have my hair braided, you would know what hair like wool looked like. God is a nigga. It's simple as that. The Bible is not a white man's book. White supremacy. The Bible is not about white supremacy. The Bible is about Israelite supremacy. Israelites who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is who it's talking about. You understand? No one else. The God of Abraham is the nigger God. Christ is the nigger king. His people are niggers, spics, and savages. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And not only did I show you that the Jews are black, their king is black, their God is black, let me show you that really, out of all people who are melanated, it's talking about you, because we're not the only melanated people, right? Asians have melanin. Some Caucasians have melanin. Bob Marley, for example, Sean Paul. East Indians have melanin. Some of them look like brothers and sisters. Nicki Minaj, who is not a sister. So it's not about how you look. Certain things have to have happened to you. You understand? The Jews not only fit a physical description, there are certain criteria that they adhere to. Right? We're gonna go into a simple one that is undeniable. Probably the most famous one. I ain't gonna lie to you. but the one that we're told to forget about. This is go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28, let's start at verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, hearken is the old English word to means to listen, to pay attention, and come to pass meaning it will happen, right? Meaning it will happen if you don't listen, if you don't pay attention. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. The possessive adjective, meaning the Lord is your God, not the God of the whole planet Earth. It's talking to the Israelites, to the 12 tribes. If they don't listen and they don't obey to the Lord, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, because this is the only thing the Israelites ever had to do, was just to obey. They didn't have to dress fancy. You know, we could have gold in our mouths. We don't have to put the whole grill that's permanent. You know, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to be a doctor or you know, what a higher end paying job. You don't have to be a lawyer. Right? All you have to do is observe all the commandments and the statutes. Statute, which is a word, is a synonym of the word law. That's all you have to do. But if we don't do that, here's what was going to happen. That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. For time's sake, you go up to verse 1, right? From verse 1 to verse 14. If we obey, we're rewarded. We get all the blessings. We are in power. You know, we don't have to starve. Our land is fruitful, yada, yada, yada. Deuteronomy 28 from verse 1 to 14. From verse 15 on down, if we disobey now, we be cursed. Be the opposite of blessed. Opposite of rewarded. We'll be punished. Now, let me show you one of the punishment, the most famous one that is undeniable, that nobody could deny. That is further proof that you are the real Jews and not the people over there trying to rape Palestinians, like trying to assault Palestinians in a deviant way. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, the word Egypt is a Greek word, Egyptos. The proper word, if you look into the Hebrew, is Matazarayim, which is Egypt. In Egypt is literally the land, the house of bondage. Bondage meaning slavery, captivity. That's what bondage is. You're not free. You're shackled up. Just like the Israelites were in Egypt as slaves, would be brought back into slavery by the way of ships. Now, again, it's just like asking earlier, who are the only people who has woolly hair? Now, who are the people who were brought as slaves via the way of ships? It's not rocket science. It's not. I'm not asking a quantum physics equation. Even if you don't know history, you should know who's the people who were brought over here as slaves. I'm not even say over here. I'm gonna just say who were brought as slaves on ships. So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and Native American Indians. The first were the Taino Indians, but the people who said, well, the Latinos can't be Israelites. They never were on slave ships. The first ship was of 1,100 Taino Indians that Christopher Columbus brought back to Spain. 800 died, 300 remained alive. He said it's good business. Black people didn't go on slave ships until what? The 1600s. The transatlantic slave trade started with so-called Latinos today, Taino Indians and natives in North American continent. Good night. They were shipping natives down to the Caribbean. What do you mean they were not on slave ships? Make it make sense. You were not on a slave ship until like 1600s. our Latino brothers, our native brothers were on slave ships before you ever were, so-called black man. They are part of the 12 tribes, not the Africans. I have a matter of fact, I have a clip. Listen, I have the perfect clip. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Talking about the Africans have been on slave ships. No, they were not. I have a perfect clip right now for y'all. Right, and then we get back to it. I do have to translate it because it's in French. I have the perfect clip. This Hamite is saying that we're not the same people. They were not enslaved. They were colonized. He knows his history. You say, yeah, we're a different matter of people. There's multiple Hamites. They say, yeah, you know what? We're not the same. These people were cargo. You know, we were passengers. We came by plane. They came by ships. Imagine that. You can't make this up. Let me see if I can find this clip real quick for y'all. You understand? This is amazing because till this day, still trying to associate yourself with a people that has nothing to do with you just because they have melanin. The question is, why don't you associate yourself with the Arabs? Arabs have melanin. The Polynesians have melanin. The East Indians have melanin. Why are you not a Filipino? Filipinos have melanin. Why is it only the Africans you want to associate yourself with? Before I show you the clip, let me show you this, right? I'm going to show you this. This is the people of the Solomon Island. Some of them have broad noses. Look at this person, dark as hell. Why are you not a person from the Solomon Island? Why don't you associate with them? So like, I will share my screen. There you go. Why don't you associate with them? Don't they have melanin too? This is the people of the Solomon Island. What makes you not like them? Look at the little girl. She has a broad nose. Look at them. They have little afros. All right, they're blonde. So what? Why don't you associate with them? They're dark as hell. They have melanin. Why do you have to associate with the Africans? Let me see. What's the name of the people again? Papua New Guinea. The people of Papua New Guinea. Why don't you associate with them? Good night. Listen, y'all have no issue associating with Africans with a plate in their mouth. They're dark as hell. They have broad noses. Why not the people of Papua New Guinea? Just like the Africans, they put bones in their nose. They're dark as hell as well. Why not them? Want to see someone else who has melanin? I'm gonna show you. Right? These are the people in the. These are Filipinos. These are indigenous Filipinos. I wrote Philippine like in the French way. I didn't make a typo. Salakia. It's how you write Philippines in French. The point is, these are Filipinos. Why are you not a Filipino? See, you sound dumb as hell. The reason why you say you're African is because a racist white man called Charles Darwin said that we all descend from monkeys, and that Africa, and he said we descend from apes, and that Africa is the continent with the most species of apes, therefore we must be African. Imagine that. It comes from a racist white man. Otherwise, you should have no issues identifying as a Filipino. You understand? Watch this real quick before you get back, before I'm going to show you the clip, right? These are people from Sri Lanka. There's dark-skinned East Indian. There's the same people, Sri Lankan. They're dark-skinned. Look at this cat. Look like he has an afro. Imagine that. Why are you not Sri Lankan? Why are you an African? You sound dumb as hell. That's what you are. Let me show you the clip. I'm going to translate for y'all, yeah?
Les Américains sont des esclaves et pas nous. Je m'explique, les gars.
The first thing he said is he's talking about black Americans. He said they're slaves and not us. He's from Congo, if I'm not mistaken, but he's African. That's the point. He said so-called black Americans are slaves. We're not. That's the first. That's how he started the clip. He said they're slaves. We're not. He's about to break it down.
J'ai jamais compris pourquoi à l'école on associe notre histoire à la leur. Si je vous prends l'exemple de Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, elle avait du mal à monter dans le bus. Vous pensez vraiment que Tantine Bernadette du fin fond de Kinshasa ou Tantine Brigitte, elle avait du mal à monter dans le bus?
You understand? He's saying, why in school did we have to learn about black Americans' history? It has nothing to do with us. Well, with them. You understand? He said, well, even Rosa Parks, she had issues going on the bus. That had nothing to do with the Africans. The Africans didn't have an issue going on the bus.
Mais on est venu nous dire que oui, Rosa Parks s'est battue pour que les Noirs, moi en tout cas à l'école, hein, quand j'étais au bled, on me disait ouais qu'elle s'est battue pour que les Noirs puissent monter dans le bus. Mais c'est les Noirs d'Amérique, rien à voir avec nous.
He said, everything you learn in school about so-called black Americans has nothing to do with Africans. We don't share the same history. Rosa Parks didn't fight for Africans. She didn't fight for the right for Africans to sit anywhere they wanted on the bus. Africans had Africans didn't give a damn about that. That's what he's telling you right now. Y'all were slaves, they were not.
Quand on dit Martin Luther King, il a fait un rêve pour voir les Noirs et les Blancs ensemble, mais c'était les Noirs des États-Unis. Quand il rêvait, c'était pour le Mississippi, pour le Nevada ou je sais pas où, mais pas pour Yamoussoukro ou je sais pas Abidjan ou je sais pas. Enfin, et c'est ça que moi, ça me dérange, cette assimilation. En fait, les victoires des Américains, des Noirs américains devenaient les nôtres. Bah non, c'était pas pareil. Parce que...
Listen, he's saying whatever so-called black Americans fought for had nothing to do with us. Whatever dub they got, listen, it had nothing to do with the Africans. That's what he's saying. He said, listen, Africans and black Americans don't have the same history. We don't even have the same fights. We're not the same people. The African is telling you that. His first statement said, they were slaves, we were not. I'm about to play until he said, our people were colonized and their people were not colonized. Our people were enslaved and their people were colonized.
Parce que nos victoires ne sont pas les leurs. Je sais pas si vous captez. Et moi, c'est ça qui me dégoûte, en fait, dans cette histoire-là.
And you know what's funny? He's saying he's disgusted that we're all put in the same basket. Imagine that. Just like the Egyptians were disgusted with the Israelites, even though Moses was mistaken for an Egyptian because they both have melanin, they both have the same skin complexion. The Egyptians were disgusted with the Israelites, just like these Africans are disgusted with you and to be in the same basket as you.
Certes, ils ont apporté énormément de choses, mais ils se sont toujours dissociés de nous. Toujours. Même là, à présent, je crois qu'il y a un débat où ils veulent pas, parce que les Noirs ne sont pas, bon, ça c'est un autre débat aussi, ils sont pas sérieux, mais ils se sont toujours dissociés de nous. Et au bout d'un moment, il faut aussi arrêter cette connerie. Eux, ils ont été des esclaves, nous, on a été des colonisés.
You understand? He's saying our people who were brought over here in the Caribbeans, in the Americas, we were enslaved, while his people of West Central Africa were colonized. There's two different things. You understand? Yes, maybe they were forced to speak French, but they were not brought from one place to another via the way of slaves or cargo slave ships. They were passengers. We were cargo. You understand? Matter of fact, people still have a notion of indentured servitude as only East Indians, the Irish, the Asians. Africans were also indentured servants. Yeah, they don't teach that though. Some Africans came over here as indentured servants, not as slaves. You understand? We'll make a whole history class on indentured servitude. The point is, we're not the same people. The people is talking about in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, is so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, not Africans, not Asians, especially not the so-called deviant white Jewish bastard over there. It's talking about you. And when I say bastard, the Bible calls him a bastard. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The Bible says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, which is the land over there they're fighting over. Your bastard is dwelling over there, a mamzer as they call it. Right? In Deuteronomy 28:68, who is the people that was brought into Egypt, into slavery or bondage by the way of slave ships? You were. descendants of the Negroes and the indigenous people in the Caribbean and in the Americas. You are the 12 tribes. You are the real Jews. Let me finish the verse. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. You should not be able to see your land right now. It's a metaphor to say you will not be seeing your land for a very long time, because there's no contradiction in the Bible. You understand? It's a figure of speech. If you tell someone, don't talk to me no more, are they never ever going to talk to you ever again in there? You understand? Some people, you just like, you said, don't talk to me for now. I ain't listening to you. I'm just not paying attention. Understand the context of things. When it says that we will not see it no more again, it's talking about we will not be put back in our land just like that in a snap of a finger. For those who go, what is it, in Demona, Israel, you're not supposed to be there right now. And then you complain that you're being oppressed. Yes, you're being oppressed. You're not supposed to be in the land, back in the land right now. You understand? Who are the people who are taken as captives away from the land and they're not in the land no more? For the purple sodomites who are trying to include so-called Africans, so-called Polynesians, and they're apparently they're trying to put Irish people on their on the chart. Aren't these people in their land? Aren't Africans in Africa? Aren't the Polynesians in Polynesia or in Papua New Guinea? Aren't the Hawaiians in Hawaii? If there really are Israelites, why are they in their land? Listen, in the argument to say, well, what about the Jamaicans? Aren't they not in Jamaica? Who put them in Jamaica? Were they in Jamaica first? Even the so-called indigenous people, they have a history that they came into that land. And then from 1492 on up, they were brought in slavery to Europe, to the Caribbean, so on and so forth. The people is talking about who fits this description is so-called Black, Latinos, and Native American Indians, descendant of Negro or indigenous descent on their father's side, who were slaves in the Caribbean and the Americas. Let's finish the verse. We're about to end it, right? And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now I think a sister hit me up talking about we are not Israelite because it says no man shall buy you. We were sold and bought. See, this is why you need to understand just a basic definition. This is not even the context at this point. It talks about no man shall free you. That's what it's called. That's what it means. No man shall free you. No one shall free us. That's what it means. It's an old English word. Comes from the old Quaker English. Doesn't mean buy as if a financial transaction. Nobody will purchase us. Good night. Even if you want to talk about nobody will purchase us, wasn't. See, this is dumb as hell. You understand? This is really talking about freedom. Nobody will free us. That's what it's talking about. You understand? God is black. The Jews are black. Christ is black. The Bible is not a white man's book. It is the Constitution, the historical record of a people of the 12 tribes who are so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You will not learn this outside of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You will not learn this in school. You will not learn this in college, in university, in the church. You will not learn this. That's why, again, the topic of tonight is you need to come to class. We show you the basic thing that the Bible pertains to you. Now, the rest pertains to you as well. Everything in the Bible pertains to you. You understand? Salakia, do we have a few minutes? Yeah, a few more minutes. I'm going to show you black fatigue and white fatigue in the Bible. Yeah. Let's go to Exodus. think it's Exodus 1. Exodus 1 and 11. Exodus 1 and 10, right? For time's sake, I'm going to go a bit quick. We have a few more minutes. I'm going to show you black fatigue like I was telling you and white fatigue in the Bible, right? And then we're going to end the class. Just make sure you sign into the classes, especially, you know, if you want to be in the school, sign in links, sign out links, beginning and the end of the class. You understand? Do your 90 days, change your life, become a new creature in Christ, like it says in the book of 2 Corinthians. Become a new creature in Christ. Change your ways. You understand? Become able to teach as well, because our people need to be taught again. Let's go to Exodus 1 and 10, right? I'm going to show you white fatigue and black fatigue. Matter of fact, I'm going to just show you black fatigue real quick. And then we'll make the next class about black fatigue and white fatigue, yeah? We'll make a part 2 because we already made a class about black fatigue and black fatigue. I'm going to show you white fatigue next week, in 2 weeks. I like it. This is black fatigue right here. Exodus 1 and 10. Come on. Let us deal wisely with them. This is the Egyptians talking about the Israelites. After Joseph passed away, right? The Pharaoh that was familiar with Joseph, he passed away as well. Now the new Pharaoh was like, who the hell are these niggas? Who the hell are these people? They're not my people. Mind you now, Africans, who you claim you to be a part of, are looking at you from the biblical times like we're not the same people. From thousands of years, Africans never wanted to mess with you. This is what they're saying. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Africans say we need to get rid of them. Africans look at you like with disgust. Even at the times of Joseph, when his brothers came, he was eating at a separate table than the Egyptians. It was considered an abomination, something disgusting for them to be at the same table. Imagine that. So now after Pharaoh, who was familiar with Joseph, passed away, the generation after that, it was a wake-up call. Like, listen, we don't want to be mixed in with these people. We don't want to have nothing to do with these people. So let us deal wisely with them. Let's kick them out. Let's enslave them. This is exactly what happened. They enslaved us. Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. The Egyptians enslaved the Israelites. That's what we're reading about. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses, just like we built Chicago. Just like what you call it again? The Skywalkers. Skywalkers are Native American Indians who built the high-rise building in New York. They don't teach you that in school, though. The same way we build this different treasure cities in Egypt, we build the treasure cities in America. We build the treasure cities in France. We build the treasure cities in the UK, everywhere, in Spain, Italy. We did that. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they grieved because of the children of Israel. Who's grieving because of us is the ancient Egyptians. They had black fatigue. They were tired of you. You understand? We're running short on time, so we'll show you white fatigue next time, right? Make sure you tune into these classes. We're live on I.S.U.P.K Montreal for the Brotherhood classes in English, I.S.U.P.K Montreal, I.S.U.P.K Toronto, IET, La Pura Neta on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you click on the sign in and sign out links in the class. Do in 90 days, change your life, you know, and let's get into more complicated scriptures next time on how we solve the beef. We show you how we solve beefs. We'll show you how we get you off of drugs, how we have you stop being a whore, how you can stop being a homosexual. You understand? Turn your life around. not by being baptized in water. Because if you are a clean person who has basic hygiene, you get baptized every day. It's called a shower. But if you want to change your life and be baptized in Christ and be baptized in fire, it's not by jumping in a volcano. Be baptized by the word, which we're going to break down next time. With that said, I'm Priest and Officer 500 Baraki Allah with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under Commanding General YAHANNA. I'm going to get the security announcements, and we're going to end the class right here at Tawada, which means thank you in the Hebrew, or in Lashwan Kodash. To everybody who tuned into the class, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's wake up our people. It's time like never before to wake up to our true identity, to get back our culture, our language, our code of conduct. You understand? Do not slack. Come to these classes, change your life, and I'm going to see you next week for the Brotherhood class in French. Shalom, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rules for your brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We have the memorial of blowing of trumpets, which be the first day of the 7th month, which fall on Sunday, September 21st, 2025. You can read more about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Mina visual imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Mina visual imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatam, meaning Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. Turn the fifth sisters, we'll give a courtesy salute as well. Mina visual imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Latham Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Y'all make sure y'all tune into 1 West online classes for the scripture breakdown. If I'm not mistaken, Captain Tazariah will be teaching it today. But make sure y'all tune in. Shalom, Israel.
Warning.
Say this from me heart on a rum chat. Here we contact, get your gunshot. Make it sun dark and the ground black. We plant calm but I never agriculture. I know the eagle in the dung, got the eagle when young people that are the vulture. Said them evil never the vulture. They could have run pan diesel at a fee punja. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Easy we coulda squeegee inna the Honda. Sleepy gunshot beat him inna him slumber. Greedy fi make them dopey a the younger. Glad say me nah pre when me the younger. That no mean say no pussy can try. Pussy try run up and give with them life. Can't see penalty give with 3 points. This 1 West boy you must see one die. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Don't start war with we. You will see. My dark them are real. Better agree. Don't start war with we. You will see. My dark them are real. Better agree.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.